Oh, this is a scary place to fight. Well, that's one. Get out! Get out! Oh my gosh, this is so scary. Get out! You want to try me? Not so sure now, huh? How touching. You can die side by side, brothers in arms. Heal through that, buddy. Let me teach your friend some manners. Would you like to join him? Go on, your friend's getting lonely. Don't leave him. See? Now you can be friends together forever in the afterlife. Isn't that nice? Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? So for the build, you want Swift Glintstone Shard, Comet, Carrion Slicer, and a Duelist Moonblade. Those are the only spells you need. You've got great projectiles, and you've got great melee spells. You can hit them from far and up close. And not only that, we've got 2 different animation cancels we can do that are very powerful. Let me show you. So Swift Glintstone Shard. Why this one out of all the projectiles? Simply because it's fast. That's why it's called Swift Glintstone Shard. You can really catch people off guard with this. It's probably one of the harder spells to avoid just because it comes out so quickly. You can really surprise people. Pebble. I'm the pebble. Then you also have Comet. This does way more damage, but it's slower. The projectile is slower and it has a long casting time. It's very rare that you're gonna hit someone with this just standard because they'll see it coming a mile away. It makes a big sound and it's got a very obvious projectile that they have plenty of time to dodge. But if you cast them back to back, you can completely skip the casting animation of the Comet, and you can even actually spam it repeatedly after that with my current mana pool and stamina pool, because don't forget that magic also consumes stamina to cast. You just can't see that when I'm out of combat. I can cast 3 back to back, which is absolutely terrifying for opponents, as you've seen in these clips, and I absolutely love it. You want some Comets? It tastes good, I swear. For melee, you have Carrion Slicer. So when you've annoyed people with projectiles and they haven't died and they're starting to push into you, that's when you pull out the Carrion Slicer. You can maybe act like you're running away and then you turn around and wah, 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 wah. You can shred people with that. It'll usually like 2, 3, at most probably 4 shot them unless they're blocking. It does so much damage. This is probably my favorite spell in the game. I love it because I think you're a squishy mage. They think you're easy to kill up close. I mean, you are squishy. You'll drop pretty quick, but they don't expect you to deal this kind of really high, fast melee damage. Sorry, bud, this shred's better. Now, the Duelist Moonblade, it has a longer cast time, but what's really nice about it is that the swing of the greatsword itself does damage, and also the projectile it shoots out. And not everybody expects that projectile. It often surprises people. But what's even better is that you can actually combo these 2 spells together. So you can be Carrion Slicer, but it didn't kill them, they roll away, and then you cast this, and bam. You notice it didn't make that louder sound like ding, and then the slice. Plus, they expect you to keep swinging with this super fast little magic knife. They don't expect this big greatsword to come out. And usually by the time they realize it, maybe they roll away, but then they get hit with the ice projectile. I've caught people off guard so many times with that. It's such a good animation cancel. So definitely take advantage of these animation cancels. They're awesome. Now, as for the build itself, we're going to be using the Lusat's Glintstone Staff. It does give you the most damage. The trade-off is that spells will cost a little bit more FP, but it's worth it because we want to nuke people as quickly as possible. Now, I do use the Turtle Shield because it gives you higher stamina regen. You might think you don't need stamina because you're a mage, but trust me, you do. When you cast spells, you're not just consuming mana, you are consuming stamina as well. And there were times where people got in my face, I was running away, rolling, and I wasn't able to finish them off with this knife because I didn't have enough stamina to do enough swings to kill them. So that's why I threw the shield on, because it does give you higher stamina regeneration. I also threw on Carrion Retaliation. Please don't do the speedrunner glitch where you use a consumable and then you parry it to get the free projectiles. No, do it to actually parry an enemy's spells, especially that one spell that shoots out the 12 homing projectiles. You can pop this and then maybe like roll around, roll into them, and then it'll probably kill them because they don't expect it. They didn't see you cast a spell. You just did this, and they don't really expect the flying projectiles to kill them. Sorry, bud. Now, aside from that, you'll want to use this helmet. It does boost your intelligence by 6. You can see once I remove it, my intelligence drops from 70 to 64. It does have the trade-off of reducing your max HP and stamina, but it is worth it for stat efficiency. As for the rest of your armor, use whatever you want. I use Confessors. I think it's a great balance of physical damage reduction, elemental damage reduction, and resistance. Plus, I can't really go much heavier with all this gear without fat rolling, so it's a nice set for me. As for the talismans, you're going to want to use this one, straightforward, it boosts your sorcery damage. This one makes you cast faster, straightforward. And this one increases your magic attack, so you'll do more damage with your spells. Now, this one is just for more stat efficiency, again, raising intelligence by 5. I was able to take those 5 points that would have gone into intelligence and put them in mind instead, because I didn't really need a different talisman. You might be like, oh, well, why don't you use the Godfrey one, right? Enhances charge spells and skills. I don't charge my spells. In fact, out of all these spells I have equipped, none of them can be charged except Comet, and I never really cast Comet unless I'm animation canceling comboing it with Swift Glintstone like this. Oh, that poor jellyfish. Sorry, jellyfish. No jellyfish were harmed in the making of this guide, I swear. Now, for the Flask of Wondrous Physic, this is very important because intelligence soft cap... Ow, jellyfish, please, I'm sorry. Intelligence soft cap is 80. We're at 70. So the way we reach 80 efficiently is we rely on the intelligence not crystal tier. It'll temporarily boost our intelligence by 10. So while that buff is active, we are at 80 intelligence. So we reach the soft cap on an int. And we also use the magic shroud and crack tier. So our magic attack damage is boosted, which is very, very nice. And that's pretty much it for the build. If it helped, please leave a like. It does help out a lot. Happy invading.